What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol SOFI for SoFi Technologies. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will, of course, be an update. The last time we checked in was here as that bank charter announcement was coming out. But remember specifically what I said during that video, the fact that the prevailing market conditions was going to make this extremely difficult for continuation in SoFi. And of course, that did end up panning out. Now, I'm not claiming that I went short the stock. I certainly didn't. I'm just saying from a context perspective, you got to remember what the broader marketplace is doing here. So with that being said, we do have a little bit of support coming back in around this $12 mark, and that's going to be a really important area. We pointed that out in the last video as well. We know that if it breaks, there's really nothing that we have mapped out underneath us here. Maybe there's that 10 level, we discussed that, but that's really, really speculative, and there's basically no volume there. So as of right now, it's got to be a recapture of this area from the daily time frame at 1355. You may be asking, well, why is that the number? Not only is it the gap close, because technically we did have a gap down on Monday's session, but it's also just this prior area of support. If we can get back above that, it's kind of choppy in here, don't get me wrong, but support here, that's kind of where we were. So if we can get back above that, it would start to seem to me at least that maybe, very, very speculative here, but this could start to become a bit of a double bottom. It's no guarantee, and obviously the neckline of that pattern is still way up there at 16 even, but it's a step in the right direction, right? So 1355 is your major overhead level that needs to give if we're going to make progress in the upward direction. To the downside, as we mentioned, anything under 12 does start to get fairly nasty once again. I do want to just search, again, so maybe there's a little something here around that 1030s area, but there's no volume, right? Look at the volume down here. There's nothing that's saying, people are going to jump in to protect their positions because the volume is so low is what I'm getting at. So maybe there's something at 10, but we're basically looking at a move into all-time lows inside of SoFi if that 12 breaks. Let's take a closer look at the 30-minute just to see how these moves are unfolding. Now, this is kind of, I don't want to say promising because that might be the wrong word here. It might be a little bit too optimistic, but this is certainly starting to look like an extended cup and handle, right? Something that would go like that. Higher consolidation off of the lows. It's not like we dramatically fell lower as the bears made this attempt to push into the, lunch session there. So to me, it's the sign that, again, maybe we're getting a little bit of a higher low here, and that's a positive thing from the smaller time frame because all trend changes essentially start on smaller time frames. So what's the breakout got to be? Again, you can see it clear as day here on the 30-minute time frame, up and over these two-day highs and essentially recapturing the 1355 to close the gap to Friday's low. So that's the upside. We've discussed that. It's going to be a nasty breakdown or essentially continuation to the downside. If 1262 goes, I would imagine we get the equal low at 1190, and then from there we do see that move lower as I've been alluding to. So that's all I've kind of got for you. This level is not really doing it for me anymore. We're going to remove that and just focus on this as the most clean setup. So here you go. In SoFi, consolidation here is fine. It's not overly bullish, but it's also not bearish. What would get me a little more excited is a move up and over 1355, as we talked about. Any breaches of 1262, look out below equal low, and then potentially lower after that underneath 12 even. So that's going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.